Resident Evil 4.
Resident Evil 4. Released in 2005 initially for the GameCube, then it came to PS2, then the PC, then the Nintendo Wii, then Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, then iPhone and Android, then an enhanced PC re-release because the original version sucked, and now it's on Xbox One and PlayStation 4 in glorious 60 FPS. It's a game that influenced the third-person shooter genre, and it still plays fantastically over 10 years later. Here's why you should play Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil 4 takes place 6 years after the destruction of Raccoon City. Rookie cop Leon S. Kennedy now returns as a special service agent. Sent to a remote village in Spain to find the president's missing daughter, Leon goes on a murderous rampage slaughtering the unsuspecting villagers in his search for America. Okay, I know that's not true, but Leon's search for the president's daughter uncovered a whole new kind of enemy. Gone are the zombies, and now are the Ganados. Somewhat human in nature, they're still aggressive, they group together, and they have a wide variety of weapons at their disposal in an attempt to get Leon to make this noise. Resident Evil 4 marked a radical change in the franchise. The previous games featured static camera angles, slower pacing, and focused heavily on survival aspects, but Resident Evil 4 changed all of that, with a brand new third-person camera angle and a focus on precision aiming and an awareness of your surroundings at all time. It still kept the really clunky movement though, and some may hate it, but I love Resident Evil 4's clunky movement. You can run at a fair pace, but you turn slowly, like a shopping cart, full of rocks. The other option is standing still to turn, which can leave you exposed if you're in a pinch. Aiming your gun requires you to stand completely still and use the gun's laser sight to aim. Or you can stand there with a knife and just wave the thing repeatedly until an enemy walks into it. Sure, it's a cheap trick, but it kinda works. The clunky, stiff movement and aiming makes the enemies deadlier, but mastering the movement system can make the game incredibly interesting, and dodging the Ganados that are trying to choke you or shooting their sights out of the air can really test your skills. And certain sequences such as the village can really push you. Hiding in the house can only work for so long. Stay downstairs and I'll smash through the windows. Go upstairs and I'll break in downstairs. It's not long before you have to dramatically jump out of a window and just run for your life, or face the wrath of Dr. Salvador. For all it's worth, Resident Evil 4 has a lot of unexplainable things too. Firstly, the Ganados inexplicably drop ammo for guns, despite the fact that none of them actually use guns. Then there's the first aid spray, a can which inexplicably heals all of your wounds, while combining yellow herbs with green herbs can increase your maximum health. And then there's the Merchant, a weird pirate sounding guy who sells you weapons or buys jewellery off you.
Got something that might interest you.
He's also the greatest character in Resident Evil history, and I'll fight you if you disagree. And I'm sure you know about Ashley, mostly from Michael's famous quote from the RT podcast.
Ashley is like the smartest fucking AI character in like a game
so
ever. You tell her where to go. You walk into an area and you say, "Bitch, dumpster." She goes and hides in the dumpster. Guess what? No one can fuck with her in the dumpster.
Ashley is the president's daughter that Leon has to protect. Thankfully, she's pretty cooperative and easy to work with. She'll stay behind you at all times unless you tell her to hide. If she gets caught in your crosshairs, then she'll duck. But sometimes you'll need her to advance through areas, or you'll need to catch her when she's standing above you. She's still a target for the Ganados though. They'll attack her or even try to abduct her, so you have to keep an eye on her. But at least she's not 100% stupid.
Ow! You pervert!
Resident Evil 4 was a defining moment in the franchise's history. It ignored the conventions and gameplay mechanics that defined its predecessors, and it still worked. Most importantly though, Resident Evil 4's take on third-person gameplay at the time was revolutionary. Developers such as Cliff Bleszinski have cited Resident Evil 4's gameplay as a huge influence on the Gears of War franchise. The close, over-the-shoulder camera and focus on precision aiming has become the standard for third-person shooters nowadays, but was unheard of back in 2005. But Resident Evil 4 was also the start of the downfall for the franchise, the slow shift away from survival horror elements, and move towards action-heavy gameplay that eventually led to Resident Evil 6, or Revelations 2. Take your pick, they both suck. Resident Evil 4 is still a big deal though, one that significantly influenced the direction of third-person shooters, and it helps that it's been ported to about 100 different consoles now, so it shouldn't be too hard for you to get your hands on a copy of it. So what I'm saying is go play Resident Evil 4. It's available on a lot of different consoles, so you have no excuse. Go play Resident Evil 4 now. And thanks for watching.